Good evening, everybody. Recorded by Richter here, back with another segment for you. And today I am back for my second book review. First time I did Motown Burning by Jeffire, and I was incredibly happy with the result of that. Not only is it doing more numbers than I had expected it, I ended up having an awesome conversation with the author of the book, and he answered some of the questions I had, which was super cool. So when I go to do a review of his next book, I'll read off some of the stuff that he wrote to me, some of the stuff I feel comfortable sharing with anyways. So today I am back with a new one, and that is for A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Now, there's a lot of significance for me with this book, and I'll get to all of it in order, but I guess before I get into the book, I'll kind of tell you a little bit about Eckhart Tolle. And Eckhart Tolle is a German philosopher, and it says here on Wikipedia that while he was working towards his doctorate at the University of Cambridge in 1977, Tolle abandoned his studies after claiming a spiritual awakening and later began working as a spiritual teacher. He came into prominence as a self-help author in the early 2000s, aided through promotion by Oprah Winfrey. His teachings draw from traditions such as Zen, Buddhism, Christianity, Sufism, and Hinduism, although he remains unaffiliated with any religion. And that's actually what that last statement is. Something that I really enjoyed about him is he will quote all these other religions and philosophers and stuff and just tell you this, like, explain stuff behind it. He is more so than telling you this is what you should live by, or like he more so is giving you historical information and then explaining it and where it came from maybe. And really what A New Earth is about is an examination of self and an examination of your own ego. It's about getting out of being stuck in negative brain loops and focusing on the past and on the future and being more present in what you're doing right now and being okay with what you're doing right now. And for me, I'll tell you a little bit about my story and what got me here. In 2023 is when I quit drinking, and there was a series of things that kind of led me to wanting to do that. And it was, for me, I just was unhappy with the way I was living. And so one of the things that I've always credited as part of what helped me look in the mirror and face my own crap was Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That album helped me significantly. And as I learn about myself and life and ego and stuff, I know that it wasn't him that got me sober, but it helped me realize that I needed to look in the mirror and change things about myself. And for a while I thought that might be kind of a silly thing to say. The more I learn about Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, the more all of this makes sense to me. So there is a podcast called Dissect Podcast, run by a guy named Cole Kushner, who, if you've never heard of Dissect Podcast, I highly suggest checking it out. The guy that runs it, Cole Kushner, just does the most comprehensive breakdown analysis of music that I've ever heard in my life. Each season he centers around one album, and he focuses one episode on one song, and he will spend a full hour or a half hour breaking down one specific song. And so this season that we're currently in right now, I think it's season 14, is now on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar. And after I started getting into this, I realized through Cole's analysis that this album, it follows the teachings of Eckhart Tolle. Tolle is throughout the whole album. I didn't know who he was at the time that I was getting sober, but he's throughout the whole thing. His teachings are part of what got Kendrick to start looking in the mirror and seeing his flaws and getting right with himself and changing his life to break generational curses. And God, it just like, it blew my mind because it just opened up this whole world where I was like, oh, well, gosh, that makes so much more sense to me now as to why that album was so powerful to me and how it helped me start looking in the mirror and facing these things. And for Kendrick, his addictions were different. He was talking about sex addiction a little bit for himself. Me, it's for alcohol, but it's all these coping devices that we use to deal with the stress and anxiety of unchecked ego, really. We are constantly in states of worry and suffering, and this is a book that really helps you compartmentalize these things and get a better understanding of yourself. For me, I have ADHD, and so I have a very overactive brain, and it's hard for me to focus and calm myself. I have a lot of anxiety about different things that are, to a normal person, would seem silly. And that's been that way for my whole life. And this book has really helped me with stillness, just being comfortable in my own skin, sitting with myself. And it teaches you very valuable tools on, if you're finding yourself caught up in a negative brain loop, on how to get out of it and how to focus yourself back into the present and find space around your consciousness. And I couldn't be more thankful to Tolle for writing it. You know, this isn't the only book along my journey of sobriety that has helped me significantly in my life become a more present and peaceful person, but this one has definitely helped me. And I think, going back to Dissect, so I'm really paying attention to like synchronicities right now in my life. I like to try to pay attention to signs, and if I see it as a sign, I'll try to usually follow it because I usually feel like there's something attached there. And this book has a significant synchronicity attached to it for me. So I was watching Dissect with my girlfriend, because my girlfriend Jen and I, this is like an activity we like to do together. We listen to Dissect, and then we'll paint or draw or do something creative while we're listening to it. And this season is videos, so we were watching one of the episodes, and it was the first time that he had mentioned Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, and that sparked something in my girlfriend where she was like, God, that book really sounds familiar. Well, as it turns out, it was on her mother's bookshelf in the basement. And I never got to meet Jen's mom. She unfortunately passed away before I met Jen. And this book that was her mom's is all marked up with her highlights and her notations and different cue cards where she wrote things down on them, things and pieces that she loved about the book, and or things that she was going through in life. So that really felt amazing to me, really, because it feels like I'm sort of kind of getting to know her mom a little bit. So I think it was very powerful to see the kind of things that she was going through while she was reading this. And then to come to find out, this is actually his second book. He wrote The Power of Now in 1997. This one came out in 2005, the year I graduated. Power of Now is more centered around staying in the now and getting out of, just focusing on the past and the future and all that. And she had that one as well. So now that I finished this book, the day after my 38th birthday, I will be starting The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, which I'm very, very excited about. And I really think that anyone who's watching this should get this book and read it. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you believe in, it doesn't matter where you stand politically. This book will help you become a better person and more at peace with yourself. It will help you be in connection with humanity and with community, and start doing things to serve a greater good outside of just serving yourself. And I think that that's something that we need a lot of right now. Kendrick, I'm really excited because this week there has been a break in Dissect podcasts halfway through the season. So now we're going to get back into this. And so I'm excited that I have now finished reading Tolle to get back into this examination where he's talking about an album that was so heavily influenced by the work that Kendrick did with him. And there was teasers leading up to Mr. Morale that I just didn't make the connection because I didn't know who Tolle was at the time. There's clips of Kendrick sitting with Tolle, and Tolle's voice is legitimately on the album of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. So it's now making a lot more sense to me, and it's making me hear this album, one that I've listened to countless times, with fresh ears now. It's funny how that can really change things. Getting a piece of information about an album or a different arrangement of an album or a song can change how you view it or see it. So I think all those things are really good. Today I put some of the albums in the frame that have helped me find peace. That's Yukimi from Little Dragon. That album, obviously Kendrick goes over there like we've been talking about. I put Bob Marley and the Wailers' Kaya behind me. Kaya, man, that's like the ultimate piece right there. That album is really beautiful. Bob really had the truest idea of what was right in making music. He did everything from a place of love, and that's really where we all should be creating from and moving with, is from a sense and place of love. So that is what I've got for you for this Eckhart Tolle book. Today, I have also recently posted a video reviewing the Bad Bad Not Good Baby Rose concert, so you can go check that out. I did a review on Motown Burning, like I mentioned in the top of this episode, that you can go check out. And yeah, I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. It's been really awesome watching this thing grow. Please subscribe if you haven't already. But that's basically what I got for you today. I'm gonna keep going full throttle. I know this one wasn't a Detroit one, and like I said, it's not gonna be all Detroit stuff all the time. It's gonna be a little mixed bag of things. So as I finish different books, I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot more book reviews, because I think that's something that's a lot more valuable than a lot of things that we talk about. So with that, that's all I got for you today, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.